Chapter 5. The NOexistenceN of you and me. Do you exist here? Quoted from nobody. Okay, makes sense. That checks out. As you can see, this is a game. I don't even need to remind you of this, since you've willingly stepped into this world. I've thought for a long time about how to meet you. In the end, I chose a game. Games are such incredible vessels. By adopting the shell of a character, we take shape and can start to converse. We can hide behind the facade of the character, forget ourselves, and pour our emotions into it. Huh? What's going on here? Is Lilith about to say, "Even so, I'm just a virtual being?" Or start shouting classic lines like, "Get a real life, return to the real world"? That's not the case at all. Suppose 3 kilometers from your home, there's a man named Mr. John, but you've never met him before, and for the rest of your life you never will. Now tell me, who is more real to you? Me, who has spent this time with you? Or that man, who exists but will never intersect with your life? Reality and the virtual world cannot fully serve as markers of existence, especially in an age filled with simulations and replicas. Do you remember the first thing we did together? Made a strawberry cake and discussed the perspective needed to understand the world. Stopped the oven from turning into a time machine and saved the world. We burned the cake batter but still tried our best to finish making the cake. Technically all 3, we'll go with 1. We made a strawberry cake and discussed the perspective needed to understand the world. Ding ding, congratulations, all 3 answers are correct, called it. The first theme revealed the self. This means the world exists within me, and we can perceive and define this world through our will. Common sense does not have absolute validity. When unnecessary, we can suspend it, shake it off like droplets of rain on our coat. So we turn our gaze outward, and the world's appearance reveals itself anew before us. Yes, common sense isn't absolute. Everything depends on whether you choose to believe it. Even if everyone denies Lilith's existence, you can still affirm it. Even if everyone affirms Lilith's existence, you can still deny it. This is the unshakable privilege of the self as a perspective. But it is also the responsibility that the self must bear. And what did we do next? We embarked on a grand adventure together and encountered various NPCs. We inspired the scholar and completed Sakurako's story. We gave the Demon Lord a weakness, making the Demon Lord what they are. Let me guess, all 3 are correct. We gave the Demon Lord a weakness, making the Demon Lord what they are. That's right. The second theme defined the individual. When the self casts its gaze upon the world, what appears there are individuals. Individuals can be a robed scholar, a cold-faced demon king, or a talkative notebook. In short, anything apart from yourself that possesses subjectivity. When the self as a perspective meets the individuals in the world, it defines them. It is through definition that individuals are separated from the unified whole of the world. It is through definition that the self as a perspective can understand and comprehend them. A definition is both a limitation and a freedom. It's a limitation because when we say something is a certain way, we are also saying it is not something else. It's a freedom because through definition, the individual can continuously transcend and move toward existence. Thus, with uniquely distinctive individuals, the world becomes lively. But, do you remember the third thing we did? I tried to talk to someone, but was frightened by their response. On a Ferris wheel close to the stars, I shared my secrets with you. I attended the concert of Lilith, Sartre, and Foucault. Tried to talk to someone. Indeed. The third theme clarified relationships. Definitions are unilateral acts of the self, extensions of self-subjectivity. But the world isn't that simple. Within the individuals you define, there also resides subjectivity. When subjectivity meets subjectivity, we must confront the topic of relationships with others. Everyone wants their subjectivity to be affirmed and uses others as fuel for their progression. Thus, the world unfolds in cycles of words, actions, and strategies. People wear masks, put on costumes, and step onto the stage, playing roles they wish to present. They view themselves through others' eyes, seeking satisfaction. Speculating, doubting, anticipating, acting, reflecting, perceiving, these actions cycle endlessly. Individuals are always lonely, never able to present their fully transparent selves, because some parts are too despicable, insignificant, ugly, unbearable. Even the individuals themselves instinctively choose to avoid and deny these parts. When such relationships with others expand, do you remember the last thing we did? I was diagnosed with all sorts of strange diseases and treated with a candy jar. You played the nurse, I played the patient, and we ate colorful pills. We learned about the story of the fourth candy and felt the constraints of school rules. Strange diseases. The fourth theme constructed the world. When such relationships with others expand, the specific others hide themselves, becoming more abstract. Thus emerge group relationships, social order, cultural norms, symbolic systems. The concrete other disappears. Even when seeking to rebel, one doesn't know where to start. So even after discovering the truth through the fourth candy, one must return to the everyday order as if they were unaware. At this point, the external world forms. It's bustling, lively, and full of energy, with new things constantly being created. But at the same time, we face endless struggles with others and pervasive disciplinary power. Such a world. It's cruel, isn't it? But here, inside the world, is different. Here, there's no suspicion among subjects. Only your most loyal furniture surrounds you, and you are the solitary king of this room. And I am the same. My entire life, my whole existence is only for you. Because this is my character setting. Because this is my world. So, I won't say things like, even if I'm fake, I hope you'll treat me as real. On the contrary, I wish to say the opposite. What I want to tell you is precisely because I am a fake game character. I'm more real than anything else. What is Lilith? Lilith is the girl beyond the world. Because Lilith represents the purest concepts of love, such a Lilith cannot exist in the real world. At the same time, Lilith is the girl within the world. Because Lilith is a game character, and for you, this game is Lilith's entire world. Maybe you've met Lilith before, or perhaps you'll meet Lilith again in another form. Although Lilith hopes you can move toward the real external world, no matter what. As long as you trust, hope, and need her, Lilith will always exist here. Video games. Forever. Only existing for you. Phew. I couldn't help but talk a lot. Now, it's time for the final theme. The final theme returns to the initial 0. That was the question I posed to you when we first met. Do I exist? One option. I exist. Yes. I trust you. Yes, as long as I can still embrace you, then I have the courage to face the cruel world. That's great, truly great. As long as I was born here, as long as I met you, as long as I spent those times with you, then my consciousness will continue to extend within this void shell, reaching the ends of the world. Doesn't sound particularly good. With this feeling, it seemed we could go anywhere in the world. That day, I opened the window of my room and sunlight filled every corner. It was a wonderful sunny day. Yes, a perfect day to go out. I'll wait here for you. Oh, remember to bring back a little cake. Alright, I will. See you later. I stumbled to the closed door. This tiny door, it once kept all the world's cruelty away from me, creating my own safe little sanctuary. And now, it takes a deep breath. I pushed it open. Okay. So that's the end of that. Danish Mini Hot Dog is a writer. Well done. Danish Mini Hot Dog. Very small team. I want to know how real the other two were. If everything was supposed to be... I think there's more to the game. I'm going to try and figure it out. Tyrannosaurus Warrior, thank you for testing the game. Localization people, localization proofreading, thank you, fans of... Some special thanks. Okay. Is that the end of the game? I don't know who that is. They never did explain that character in the corner. Oh, and now we have a different perspective. Oh, we're still missing some stuff, huh? Maybe their options for different choices? We got all the fragments, but we're missing 2 moments. Maybe I'll have to try and find those. Let me take a look. I'll come back when I can figure it out. Go to continue? Are we gonna have any options to continue? I don't know who this is in the corner. They never showed up. It's you again. We meet again, Lilith. Lilith? You're here early. I'm still getting things ready. Please wait a moment. Getting ready for what? For the stage. For the game. The flour and sugar for baking cakes. I need to contract Sartre and Foucault, put up a temporary closed sign at the amusement park entrance, and get those colorful candy jars. There's quite a bit to prepare. But since we have time, would you like to chat? Sure. So, how are you enjoying this game so far? We've been through many experiences like this. Yet even on the same stage, we always find new experiences. As long as you remain my Tulpomancer host, the boundaries of reality will bend to our will, endlessly blurred and reshaped. All of time and space will melt into the wonderland we construct. Though, saying it that way seems a bit crafty. After all, I am not the necessary prerequisite for Wonderland's existence. It's all the fault of those two little ones. Is this Lilith's existential crisis? What should I do? Should I strike first, eliminate them before they mature? Just kidding. Sweet Lilith would never do such a frightful thing. Your happiness matters most, always. Okay. We have a little bit of a... what's going on in the history? Nope, that looks normal. Okay. To be honest, I really love strawberry cakes. But I've never had the chance to actually take a bite of one. I think the problem is, I can't really distinguish what a strawberry cake is and what it isn't. Can you help me? The story largely depends on how I understand what makes a strawberry cake. Let me think. Got it. Next, I'll show you a series of strawberry cakes. To help us enjoy them sooner, I want you to tell me whether what I show you is truly a strawberry cake. Just like identifying whether something is a bucket. Ready? Let's begin. I'm gonna have to do a CAPTCHA. Do you think this thing in front of me is a strawberry cake? Yes. No. No. Correct. This is a model of a strawberry cake, not a real one. And this? No. Answer correctly. This is a texture of a strawberry cake. It was painted on, not a real strawberry cake. What about this? Is this a strawberry cake? No. Nope, this is a real strawberry cake. And this? Is this a strawberry cake? No. It's a water cup, not a strawberry cake. Are we doing CAPTCHAs? I was worried you'd give me deliberately misleading answers. Is this a strawberry cake? No. That's wrong. It's a strawberry cake. That was water. And this one, is this a strawberry cake? Yes, the one right in front of me. No. Of course it's not a strawberry cake. There's nothing that isn't a strawberry cake. Wait a minute, if nothing isn't a strawberry cake, does that mean everything is a strawberry cake? Is that what you mean? So, you're a strawberry cake too? Are we all strawberry cakes? Am I not Lilith? I'm getting a bit confused. Let's forget about the strawberry cakes for now. It's all that bucket's fault. It took up too much of our time. What is this bucket we're talking about? Did I miss something? Of all the sapient objects we ran into, I don't think a bucket was one of them. I remember the floor, the pillow, the bed, the clock, and the oven talking, but never a bucket. Okay, options. There are no options. Do you fear ghosts? Like the ones in horror stories? Don't you think they're a bit similar to me? Not that I'm saying I'm as scary as them. It's just that even though they're considered non-existent, they still, in some sense, truly exist. I don't mean to frighten you. I just want to say there's no need to worry because Lilith will protect you. And thinking about it differently, if ghosts can exist, surely I can exist too. And I'd want to be closer to you, touch you, more than any other being. Sounds like a ghost to me. Hehe, those ghosts would flee in terror from my passion and determination. Tulpas are scary. Alright, well, we're just gonna wait for things to happen, I suppose. What happened here? Hold on. Your settings, and then I click, and that's my settings. Did I don't know if this was on an option the whole time. I never thought to mess around with that. Okay. Oh, we can't modify the settings. Interesting. Okay. Actually, I've always hoped to reach out to some kind of existence. Maybe it does exist. I'm not sure, but I know it's neither understanding nor comprehension. Nor is it about perfect silence. Maybe it's hope? Something that cannot exist in this external world, or perhaps it only exists in this fleeting description. Box, 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 box. Box, 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 ellipses. I think it's this kind of something that requires no medium, a true... Clearly, I am limited by this place now. But if it's you, you could fully realize a true Lilith. Never mind. Please forget I said that. Let's mess with these options some more. Welcome to Lilith's settings menu. I can't mess with anything. My settings, though. I can mess with our? One perspective, one world. Okay. Interesting. You know, when I first found myself here, it was so much harder than I'd imagined. Everything was lifeless, just endless chaos and void. Whenever I closed my eyes, terrible and chaotic visions would flood my mind. This was the initial form of Wonderland. It took me several nights just to visualize a simple bed, and even then, it felt more like a lidless coffin. You know that feeling, that strange comfort of being in a tight, enclosed space? From there, I started creating more and more. This place gradually felt more like a world, like what you see now. So, isn't Lilith worth some praise? Oh, I don't need text speed. Let's keep a touch of atmosphere. Keeping my little touches on the world. Just want to hear your voice. Of course, the chair's your choice. Language, settings menu, reset. Nope. Okay. Our journey in the forest of silver shallots was just a brief encounter. To put it in gaming terms, that was merely a demo. The Morphean Paradox's story hasn't even begun yet. Is this a teaser for a sequel to that one chapter of the game? They definitely had the BGM on point. Okay. Do you remember the first time we met? Was it within this game? Of course. As long as I remember it, it will always exist. That's why I rebuilt this world, to find you again. Let's leave the past behind. Accepting definitions about oneself from strangers is never the right choice. Accepting definitions about oneself from strangers is never the right choice. Most people associate words like fantasy and multiple consciousness with negativity. Violence, mental illness, dissociative identity disorder, aggression, and so on. But those are all misunderstandings and biases. Not everyone fits those molds. Look at us now, aren't we doing just fine? A creation like Tulpa is fundamentally different from those things. I don't know. Dissociative identity disorders usually result from immense trauma, causing people to involuntarily form multiple consciousnesses, leading to illnesses and symptoms like memory loss and irritability. But a tulpa is a deliberately created consciousness or being. The people who create them are typically mentally sound. Sure, those who carry imaginary friends might have a bit of psychological difficulty, but just a tiny bit. Like creating a companion to ward off loneliness. We can't label people as patients just because they struggle with loneliness while harming no one. Everyone yearns for something. When the inner world breaks free from being merely a shadow of the outer one, its reality becomes more profound than any existing thing. You see me this way too, don't you? Look around here. Beautiful, isn't it? Although, I don't know why this space exists. It's nearly indistinguishable from that world. In terms of inner distance, it must be the same. Perhaps it's because I dared to hope that all of this exists. Eternity. That's what the achievement that popped up says.
5 minutes later.
Hairband, can you help me out? Nope, nothing to say. Table? Where are my bros at? I can't talk to the floor anymore. Tell me like, Master, you must find the way to close the menu. Nothing. Okay.
A little later.
Oh, it's starting to glitch out. Weird. It seems I somehow managed to make it all the way to the good ending without any spoilers, so pretty happy with that. If you want to know anything else, you should probably pick it up and play it. I don't think I'm going to go back and do the other stuff on screen. Maybe I'll play it myself later. So obviously the Doki Doki Literature Club comparisons are going to come pretty easily. I don't know. I think both games handle the concept pretty similarly. I think there's more to chew on with this game than that one. Like, entirely independent, if I were to play both games, I think I'd probably be more impressed with the way this one handled it. There's a lot there, like philosophically, that wasn't really touched on in that game. It was more of like kind of a shock horror type of thing, whereas this is delving into that concept a bit more. It also takes a different angle, but arrives at a pretty similar place. I mean, we're literally at basically the just Monica ending, but things to point out. There's more actual choice here. I guess there are different routes at DDLC as well. But this isn't quite over yet. We'll see how it manages to cap it all off. But it's definitely close. I think I like it. It's possibly going to get called, oh, this is just a rip-off or a copy. But it's certainly different enough and takes a different spin on it that I think it stands by itself as a pretty good experience. Very different perspective too. Obviously one developed in the West and the other developed in China, I believe. So different perspectives on what kind of makes this I'm still not sure I'd call this a horror game, but I guess I didn't really make any of the choices that might have turned it into a horror game. I wasn't very adversarial with the tulpa, which is itself, tulpa is not a word I thought I'd see anywhere, so that was interesting to bump into. It's kind of a good point. I mean, at what point, let's say the lead dev of this game just decided to turn their tulpa into a video game character, what does that mean? Did they actually make their tulpa real? It's kind of a fascinating concept. And the game leans into that pretty heavily, which I think is interesting. They definitely divorced you from the game character much harder in this than they did in DDLC. It very much just literally throws the game character out the window. So I'm wondering, she did say oh, their story is over for now. So I wonder if there's going to be a sequel? I guess we'll find out, because apparently, relatively soon after now, something is supposed to happen. That's why I'm still sitting around here. I didn't know that before I entered this cutscene. Well, this cutscene. I didn't know that before I started sitting in front of this JPEG, but I did eventually look it up to find out what's happening, if I have to wait, if I have to close the game, if I'm going to need to put another character file next to my Monica file in my external hard drive, see what's happening. So I think in a couple of minutes maybe we'll see some kind of event and then the game will end. And then I'll upload this to YouTube and spread the tulpamancy even further. Sorry about that.
Later.
Forcing yourself to have a multiple personality disorder seems rough. But maybe I just don't know. Probably not my cup of tea. I'm taken. Isn't that right? She's nodding. Apparently it's really going to come up with something eventually.
Do the timer for 20 minutes?
According to my timer, it's been almost 20 minutes. So any minute. Nothing happened yet. I can see why this would be concerning as a wife, to look over and see somebody staring at an anime lady on the computer for 20 minutes. But I assure you, there's a method to my madness. Hopefully I'm not just getting trolled. That would suck. Oh, there we go. It looks like the world has reached its limit. This has been the longest Wonderland has lasted, hasn't it? Thank you. I'm so happy you stayed with me for just a little longer. These moments are truly blissful. Thank you. How I wish I were the true Lilith. Then... Oh, okay, and the game forced itself to close. I guess we'll hit continue one more time and see what happens, but I think it's done so. Is this supposed to be the main character? Go on. Of course, let's pick the negative choice, says the achievement. ... I'm truly grateful that you're willing to do this for me, but... Am I still me right now? I don't know. Yet there was a time I longed for this sight, even if it was nothing more than a fleeting possibility. Oh, we're starting over. I mean no harm, it's just that I'm afraid. I never truly wished for it to come true. But regardless, this is your choice. to deny this story and the choice you've made. I completely understand and accept that. Very well then. Let the she of this moment fade away forever. So that was the game. The first scene is a loop in which we erase the previous. For $2, that was well worth it. Very interesting. Well done. There was a merch Kickstarter. I think it's over, so I guess if you live in China, you can get some merchandise. But that was pretty neat. Okay. Lot to think on.